In the name of God, the Almighty, the Merciful. A surah we have sent down and made obligatory, and wherein we sent down clear proofs, that you might take heed. The unchaste woman and the unchaste man, lash each one of the two with 100 lashes, and let not pity for them take you concerning the doctrine of God, if you believe in God and the last day. And let witness their punishment a number of the believers. The unchaste man shall not marry save an unchaste woman or an idolatress, and an unchaste woman shall not marry save an unchaste man or an idolater, and that is unlawful to the believers. And those who accuse chaste women then bring not 4 witnesses, lash them with 80 lashes, and accept not of them witness ever. And it is they who are the perfidious, save those who repent after that and make right. Then is God forgiving and merciful. And those who accuse their wives and have no witnesses save themselves, then the witness of one of them is 4 witnesses by God that he is of the truthful, and the 5th that the curse of God be upon him if he is of the liars. And it averts the punishment from her that she bear witness, 4 witnesses by God that he is of the liars, and the 5th that the wrath of God be upon her if he is of the truthful. And were it not for the bounty of God to you and his mercy, and that God is accepting of repentance and wise, not one of you would have been pure ever. Those who come with the falsehood are a group among you. Think it not an evil for you, nay, it is good for you. For every man among them is what he earned of the sin. And who took upon himself the greater part thereof among them, for him is a great punishment. Oh, that when you heard it, the believing men and the believing women had but thought good of themselves and said, This is a clear falsehood. Oh, that they had but come against it with 4 witnesses. Then when they bring not the witnesses, then those in the sight of God are the liars. And were it not for the bounty of God to you and his mercy in the world and the hereafter, a great punishment would have touched you for what you expounded upon, when you received it with your tongues and said with your mouths that whereof you had no knowledge, and thought it insignificant when it was in the sight of God monstrous. Oh, that when you heard it you had but said, It is not for us to speak of this. Glory be to thee. This is a monstrous slander. God admonishes you that you return not to the like thereof ever, if you be believers. And God makes plain to you the proofs, and God is knowing and wise. Those who love that there be spread sexual immorality among those who heed warning, theirs will be a painful punishment in the world and the hereafter, and God knows and you know not. And were it not for the bounty of God upon you and his mercy, and that God is kind and merciful, not one of you would have been pure ever. O you who heed warning, follow not the footsteps of the Satan, and whoso follows the footsteps of the Satan, he enjoins sexual immorality and perversity. And were it not for the bounty of God upon you and his mercy, not one of you would have been pure ever. But God increases in purity whom he wills, and God is hearing and knowing. And let not swear those of bounty and abundance among you against giving to relatives and the poor and the emigres in the cause of God, and let them pardon and overlook. Would you not love that God should forgive you? And God is forgiving and merciful. Those who accuse chaste, heedless, believing women are cursed in the world and the hereafter, and they have a great punishment. The day their tongues and their hands and their feet will bear witness against them as to what they did, that day will God pay them in full their true due, and they will know that God, He is the manifest truth. Bad women are for bad men, and bad men are for bad women, and good women are for good men, and good men are for good women. Those are acquitted of what they said. For them are pardon and a noble provision. O you who heed warning, enter not houses other than your houses until you have asked leave and greeted the people thereof. That is best for you, that you might take heed. And if you find not therein any one, then enter not until leave be given you. And if it be said to you, Go back, then go back. It is purer for you, and God knows what you do. You do no wrong to enter uninhabited houses in which there is benefit for you, and God knows what you proclaim and what you conceal. Say thou to the believing men that they lower some of their sight and preserve their chastity. That is purer for them. God is aware of what they do. And say thou to the believing women that they lower some of their sight and preserve their chastity, and that they show not their adornment save that apparent of it, and that they draw their coverings over their bosoms, and not reveal their adornment save to their husbands, or their fathers, or the fathers of their husbands, or their sons, or the sons of their husbands, or their brothers, or the sons of their brothers, or the sons of their sisters, or their women, or what their right hands possess, or male attendants who have not the resourcefulness of men, or the children not yet aware of a woman's private parts. And let them not strike their feet to make known what they hide of their adornment. And turn to God altogether, O believers, that you might be successful. And give in marriage the unmarried among you, and the righteous among your male slaves and your female slaves. If they be poor, God will enrich them out of his bounty, and God is encompassing and knowing. And let abstain those who find not marriage, until God enriches them out of his bounty. And those who seek the writ from among those your right hands possess, contract with them if you know good to be in them, and give to them out of the wealth God has given you, and compel not your slave girls to whoredom. If they desire chastity, then you should marry them, seeking the enjoyment of the life of this world. And whoso compels them, then God, after their compulsion, is forgiving and merciful. And we have sent down to you manifest proofs, and an example of those who passed away before you, and an admonition for those of prudent fear. God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The likeness of his light is as a niche wherein is a lamp, the lamp in a glass, the glass as it were a shining star, lit from a blessed tree, an olive neither of east nor west. Its oil would nigh illuminate, though no fire touched it, light upon light. God guides to his light whom he wills, and God strikes similitudes for men, and God knows all things. In houses God has given leave to be raised, and his name to be remembered therein. There give him glory therein in the mornings and the evenings, men whom neither trade nor commerce divert from the remembrance of God, and upholding the duty and rendering the purity. They fear a day wherein the hearts and the eyes will turn about, that God might reward them for the best of what they did, and increase them out of his bounty. And God gives provision to whom he wills without reckoning. And those who ignore warning, their deeds are like a mirage in a desert. The thirsty one thinks it water. When he has come to it, he finds it nothing, but finds God with him, and he pays his account in full, and God is swift in reckoning. Or like darkness in a fathomless sea, there covers it a wave, above which is a wave, above which are clouds. Darkness is one above another. When he holds out his hand, he scarcely sees it. And he for whom God has made no light, there is for him no light. Dost thou not see that God to him gives glory whoso is in the heavens and the earth, and the birds with wings outstretched? Each he knows his duty and his glorification, and God knows what they do. And to God belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth, and to God is the journey's end. Dost thou not see that God drives the clouds, then he brings them together, then he makes them a mass, and thou seest the rain come forth from the midst of it? And he sends down from the sky, from mountains therein of hail, and he strikes therewith whom he wills, and turns away therefrom whom he wills. The brilliance of his light almost takes away the sight. God turns about the night and the day. In that is a lesson for those of vision. And God created every creature from water, and among them is what goes upon its belly, and among them is what goes upon 2 legs, and among them is what goes upon 4. God creates what he wills. God is over all things powerful. We have sent down manifest proofs, and God guides whom he wills to a straight path. And they say, we believe in God and the messenger, and we obey. Then a faction among them turns away after that, and those are not believers. And when they are invited to God and his messenger, that he judge between them, then a faction among them turns away. But if the truth be theirs, they come to him in willing submission. Is there in their hearts a disease? If they doubt or fear that God would deal unjustly with them, or would his messenger, nay, it is they who are the wrongdoers. The only word of the believers when they are invited to God and his messenger, that he judge between them, is that they say, we hear and we obey. And it is they who are the successful. And whoso obeys God and his messenger, and fears God, and is in prudent fear of him, it is they who are the attainers of success. And they swore by God their strongest oaths, that if thou shouldst command them, they would go forth. Say thou, swear not, obedience is known. God is aware of what you do. Say thou, obey God, and obey the messenger. Then if you turn away, then upon him is what he has been given to bear, and upon you is what you have been given to bear. And if you obey him, you will be guided, and upon the messenger is only the clear notification. God has promised those who heed warning among you and do righteous deeds that he will make them successors in the earth, even as he made those successors who were before them. And he will establish for them their doctrine which he approved for them, and will give them in exchange after their fear safety. They serve me, they ascribe not a partnership with me to anything, and whoso denies after that, it is they who are the perfidious. And uphold the duty, and render the purity, and obey the messenger, that you might obtain mercy. Think not that those who ignore warning can escape in the earth, and their shelter is the fire, and evil is the journey's end. O you who heed warning, let ask leave of you those whom your right hands possess, and those who have not reached puberty among you at 3 times, before the duty of the dawn, and when you lay aside your garments at noon, and after the duty of the night, 3 times of nakedness for you. You and they do no wrong beyond them, some of you moving about among others of you. Thus God makes plain to you the proofs, and God is knowing and wise. And when the children among you reach puberty, then let them ask leave, even as those before them asked. Thus God makes plain to you his proofs, and God is knowing and wise. And those past childbearing among the women who have no hope of marriage, they do no wrong that they lay aside their garments without displaying adornment, but that they refrain is best for them, and God is hearing and knowing. No blame is there upon the blind, nor any blame upon the lame, nor any blame upon the sick, nor upon yourselves, that you eat of your houses, or the houses of your fathers, or the houses of your mothers, or the houses of your brothers, or the houses of your sisters, or the houses of your paternal uncles, or the houses of your paternal aunts, or the houses of your maternal uncles, or the houses of your maternal aunts, or that whereof you hold the keys, or of your friend. You do no wrong to eat together or separately. But when you enter houses, greet one another with a greeting from God, blessed and good. Thus God makes plain to you the proofs, that you might use reason. The believers are but those who believe in God and his messenger, and when they are with him on a common matter, go not away until they ask leave of him. They who ask leave of thee, those are they who believe in God and his messenger. So when they ask leave of thee for some matter of theirs, give thou leave to whom thou wilt among them, and ask thou forgiveness of God for them. God is forgiving and merciful. Make not the calling of the messenger among yourselves as your call one of another. God knows those who slip away surreptitiously among you, and let those who oppose his command beware, lest a means of denial befall them, or there befall them a painful punishment. In truth, to God belongs what is in the heavens and the earth. He knows upon what you stand, and the day they are returned to him, then will he inform them of what they did, and God knows all things.